Isn't it interesting how last week I thought it was the best music ever? And then this week, it's the best music ever. And isn't it interesting how a mental equivalent of what we think is the best ever is constantly expanding? So we were never meant to reach a plateau and to stay at that level. And yet, we're not taught to think in an advanced way. We're not taught to think always moving to the next level. We're taught that, oh, you got 100 on your exam, you've got it all, right? Isn't that what you're taught? 100 means you're perfect. There's no more to go. You got 100. Wouldn't it be great if we were tested and we only got 80? Meaning there was always 20% more to reach for? Or wouldn't it be great if instead of 80, we lower the bar and say, I got 25? Now think about it. There was laughter there because we've associated 25 with less. We've associated 25 with getting an F. We've associated 25 with getting grounded. I don't know about you, but I was grounded if I got below a B. But at 25, that would have been an F. And then the nuns, holy garbanzo beans, the nuns would have taken out the pointers and whopped you across the head. Or Sister Marie Constance would have taken racers and whipped them across the room and hit you in the head with them. That's how I grew up. So I always sought to be 100. And what I've come to understand is the further along the journey I go, the more I realize how much further the journey is. The more I think I know, the more I realize I don't know very much. See, that's the key thing. And so I was going to start this talk about what is the creative process. I'm going to just walk through the steps. I'm going to take in a whole new direction. The first step is you got to want it, you got to desire it, you got to know what it is, okay? Pretty interesting. That's simple. Next thing is you quiet your mind. You release all of the thoughts that you have. You go into stillness. You realize your oneness with all that is. You now have a clean slate. From there, you go into the imagination. You imagine it in your mind as already being there. What does it feel like? What does it look like? You speak as if. You act as if. You talk as if. You think as if. And then you just allow, because you become the vibration. The vibration now demonstrates into the universe, and you have that in your life. That's a real simple process. And yet, it doesn't work most of the time. Why is it? I'm going to say to you this in a way you've never heard before. It's because you don't desire enough. Did you hear that? We don't have a burning, passionate desire in us that says, I want that. I will do anything in the world for that. I'll go back 150 years ago. I was dating my wife. It's been that long, trust me. I was dating her and I said, I want that. And I did everything. I did everything within my imagination. I put my heart and soul into it. Hell, I skipped class for a semester to spend time with her. My parents didn't know. But I did everything. You know, when you set your mind on something, when you have created that inner burning desire, every bit of you goes toward it, right? How many people here have ever wanted to lose weight? Anybody? Has anyone here found at times it wasn't really a burning desire? Because, let me see, I'm in the process, I'm creating my perfect body, I've got my program here. Oh, chocolate, I'll have that. Oh, wait a second, where are we going for lunch? Well, I was thinking about this buffet. Oh, I'll go to the buffet. Oh, thirds? I'll have thirds. How can I not have it? Oh, you've got to have some of Mama's pie because Mama's pie is so good, and Mama cuts a piece this big. Did we desire having the body that would go with what we thought at that point? No. Let's talk about relationships. Relationships are a real special one. Do we have that perfect relationship? Or are we under the idea that relationships are difficult? I think society says relationships are difficult, doesn't it? Everywhere you go, watch any bit of TV, watch all the drama, watch all the movies. Everything is difficult. But when you desire to have a relationship that is easy and it is joy-filled and it is progressing, it is supportive and it's harmonious, and you put everything into it, you create that. But you see, the desire has to be there. And here's the thing. I don't know if you want to use this for the talk title, Charles, but it's about how do we create with a half-assed desire? Well, if you create with a half-assed desire, you're going to create a half-assed result. Can you get that? I said that word because I want you to know there's no God judging the words you use. You hear that? Any attachment you have to words is a self-created judgment that you've allowed to come in, and you're judging based on a word association. An ass is a donkey. Can we get more clear about that? So a half donkey means you're not being a total donkey. Where did that come from? Whoa, Spirit's got a funny humor today. So let's go to money. A lot of people want abundance and want to be wealthy. But at the spur of the moment, well, let's go have some fast food. Oh, let me see now. When I have the fast food, I can kill two birds. I can kill my perfect body, and I can spend my money on stuff that doesn't serve me. See, there is no judgment. It's a matter, though, of are we looking at what our wants are? You see, if we have determined what our wants are and we're focusing all of our direction in it, then any assessment we're doing about an event is not judgment, it is discernment saying, I'm off track on where I want to be. Now, when judgment comes into play is that when we're judging another person for what their results are. You see, we have no business in their lives. That is not our business whatsoever. The only business we have is where are we focusing our attention, and have we built enough desire in our lives? I do so much counseling on the phone, in person, with people here, there, all over the world, basically now. Because, you know, we're a one-world society. People connect with you through the internet. I had 2 people write me from around the world this week asking me questions about how to do things differently in their lives. So I'm literally on email counseling people, one in Australia and one in Belgium. Here's what it comes down to. Every time I do spiritual counseling, it's about self-love. And what is really behind self-love? Self-love means that you have created a set of desires, that you are not willing to sacrifice those desires for anyone, anything, any reason whatsoever. So right now you might be feeling a little guilty. Oh, God, I really am not doing so well. No, it's not that you feel guilty. It's just you realize you've been unconscious. And you've artificially bought into being an average person or having an average life or having a life that is some of the law of averages. The beauty of the teaching, the beauty of all the basics of religion that's out there is that at the core of it, they say you can begin again in the new moment. By shifting your thought in the new moment and refocusing your desire and saying, I am going to choose this. And I'm going to put every bit of emphasis in. And in that moment, you now invoke the creative process. And invoking the creative process, you create. But remember, in this creative process, you must imagine it. You've got to get a visual, auditory, whatever it is, a feeling nature about it so that it becomes, you become immersed in it, you become involved in it. So if you're looking for a relationship, you're seeing yourself just strutting. You're seeing yourself loving and giving and sharing. You're seeing yourself as authentic and free. Ooh, is that possible? Can you be in a relationship today and still feel free? Society would say no. Society would say you have to compromise. Again, who is your judge here, society or you? You see, compromise means you both lose. So how many people want to be in a relationship where you're constantly losing? And your partner is constantly losing. So every day becomes this thing. And I remember this couple that we once lived with in a town part of the world. I'm not going to say names, but everything was a friggin' discussion. What grocery store are we going to? Which brand of this are we going to have? What are we going to do here? Why are you going with this person there? Everything was a discussion, and the commentary that was brought out is, unless we discuss it, we're not a couple. Shoot me now. Just shoot me now. You see, freedom is essential to being ourselves. Can you get that? Unless we buy into the idea that we are free and we allow others to be free, we cannot be the individualizations of God, because we weren't brought here to please other people. We were brought here to be our authentic self, and in being our authentic self, that will please people who love us, because in loving us, they will be in non-judgment, they will be authentic, they will be real, they will be seeing our magnificence, and by us being free and them being free, we come together into this harmonious fold that is called co-creating in another level, in another realm, and we create something different. That's what the world is seeking today. You know, we buy into this fear thing. I'm going to show you how many people are scared of Ebola. How many people are scared of it? It's everywhere, right? Do you know, this is an old one, but I'm going to use it anyway. Kim Kardashian has divorced more men than people who have died of Ebola in the United States. So you ought to fear Kim Kardashian more than you fear the disease. But yet all we're doing is talking about, look in the back of the room, they've got these sanitizer bottles out now. You go in the back, they weren't there a week ago. You see how society, the race consciousness, has put it in? What does that do? It restricts us. Here's something we do know. A healthy immune system cannot attract a disease. Only when the immune system is weak that disease can enter into the body, because the body is a machine that knows how to create and protect itself. So it's not about us not getting Ebola, it's about us creating a healthy body that is living in a perfect state of homeostasis. And then what does that mean? Okay, so what does it mean to me? Because everyone's going to have a different meaning about what is a healthy body. For me, a healthy body means that I drink a gallon of water a day, and I drink alkaline water a day. I'm telling you what I believe, not what you should believe. Are you hearing that? Everyone comes up. So I drink that gallon of water. I also take specific supplements based on the muscle testing that I do. I believe that. That's just me. I eat as a vegan lifestyle. Why? I believe that. I eat organic. Why? I believe that. I exercise daily. Why? I believe that. I meditate daily. Why? I believe that. Why do I do that? Because I want to create a body that allows me to live in this world in a state of perfect homeostasis where I don't have to be in fear. I don't have to be like the blessed people that I see in assisted living centers where they can't move, they want to move, they can't do the things. I believe that in doing these things, I can have the quality of life that I can have so that I can continue to teach for 1,000 years. Not 1,000, but I can teach a long time. Do you see, I've identified a want in me, a desire in me so deeply that I'm not going to sacrifice my belief for what society says I should do. The question is, what do you believe and what do you want to build an idea around that you will not sacrifice? The key thing is where a lot of people fail once they get this idea is they try to do it in all areas of their life at one time. Can't do that. It's too much. Pick one area of your life and decide, get a real clear vision. What is that area? What is the one thing that's really burning in me that I desire to have right now? Pick that area and say, okay, let me build a mental image. What does it mean to be this? What would I do? What would I feel? Do I need to do research? Do I need to have a better understanding of what it would be like to be that person? For example, if I wanted to be a billionaire, I would have to do a lot more research because my mental equivalent is not that. I have a mental equivalent of a millionaire, or a 2 millionaire, or a 3 millionaire. But I don't have the mental equivalent of a billionaire, so I don't have a clue as to what that would be. So if I had the desire, which I don't, I would have to do research to find out what it meant. I would have to build a whole new mental image. I would have to talk it. I would have to walk it. I would have to think it. I could not be around people who would deny the opportunity for me to be that. You see, there are people out there that when you share your dreams, they will shoot you down. Why? Because they don't want you to progress up because it makes them feel bad. People want to keep you at the level that they're at. Well, guess what? Staying at the level of you're at, that's painful. Being in a relationship that's status quo for 20 years, that's like Archie Bunker and Edith Bunker. I'm talking over some people's heads here, but it's like it's constant. It never ends. Hey, Edith, give me a beer. You know, that's about it. That's what you can do. What do? Come home from work, sit in your easy chair, have a beer, drink, watch TV, go to bed. Next day, get up, have coffee, go to the warehouse, work again, come home. Edith, give me a beer. That's your whole life. Is that why you want to live? I don't. I want something new and exciting in my life every moment of every day. I'm now establishing a new goal about friends. I've got a lot of friends. And by friends, I mean people that I can sit with, I can have an authentic conversation with, that I know will support me if I ask them. These are not my BFFs, okay? This whole idea of BFFs and this type of thing, that's nonsense. The key thing is, can you have an authentic and real relationship with someone so that if you see them once a year, once every 5 years, it's authentic, that you're connecting, you're seeing the divine in them. They're listening to you, they're supporting you, you're listening to them, you're supporting them. There is no judgment, you see? Well, I've now set a goal. I want hundreds of loving, harmonious, and supportive relationships. Why? Because it's a bigger mental equivalent from where I'm at. After I get the hundreds, 999, I will focus on thousands. Why not? People say we can only have a handful. Well, that's not true. How many people here have had an intimate conversation with me? Anybody? There's a bunch. If we've had that discussion, then you're a friend. It's not about where'd you go last night, how you doing, how are the kids, that type of thing. That's small talk. Friendship is about really seeing into the eyes of people and knowing who they are, accepting them, and supporting them as they create and expand and become more. You see, it's about this burning desire that as we get older, we push it down. I'm going back. What happened yesterday or the day before was tragic. Jack Bruce died. Does anyone know who Jack Bruce is besides the Rockers? Jack Bruce was the bass player and lead singer of Cream, with Eric Clapton and Ginger Baker. This was truly the beginning of the rock era. And here's what, when I was young, I'm older than most here, when I was young, we had this freedom that we were going to change the world. And then we got into the system and we lost it. Well, I want you to know that I'm regressed. I'm back in, I want to change the world, and I'm starting with my life. And I'm going to create my life as the change so that I can be an example to people who come in contact with me. And in order to do that, I have to have meaningful relationships and conversations, because nothing ever happens in small, insignificant things. Why is it that politicians seem to get votes by going over and shaking people's hands or kissing a baby's forehead? That doesn't get my vote. But if you look at me and you talk to me and say, this is what I believe is in the best interest of majority of the people of this state, of this city, of this country, and this is what I'm going to stand for, and I'm going to do this without respect to who's financing my campaign, but I'm going to do it because it's me authentically being me in the world, representing it. You see, that's where I believe a person like Marianne Williamson in California would be a great addition to our Congress, because she is steeped in authenticity and spiritual principle. That's who we want there. We don't want people because they label themselves as a Republican or a Democrat. If anyone labels themselves a Republican or a Democrat, they've immediately put a box around themselves and say, I can't think for myself. And if I offended you, good. Because they say in a platform that they come up with, this is the only thing that we believe in. Well, wait a second, there's an infinite way to believe. Let's do something new. Let's create something beyond the traditional status quo today, and let's create something beyond, because let me tell you, the status quo is not working. Can you see that out there? We have more fear out in the world today than ever. There is poverty out there. There are people that are starving around the world. There's disease that is rampant. There is no need for poverty, hunger, disease, anything right now in the world. If we switched our consciousness as a group here, we will have an impact on Dallas-Fort Worth alone. But you see, we have to build a desire. It can't be just come on Sunday and get pumped up with the music and hearing Lee or Gene or whoever talking. It can't be that. It's got to be something that swells up inside of us. Someone came to me earlier and was talking about relationships. And do I pray for the other person in the relationship or do I pray for myself? What do? I don't know. It's always you pray for yourself. You pray for yourself to be the light of God. You pray for yourself to be authentic. You pray for yourself to be accepting. You pray for yourself to be non-judgmental. Because as you pray for yourself, and I'm using the word prayer here, and I'm saying prayer from the standpoint, you must direct the law. If you are not directing the law through what you pray, what you choose, then your life is going to be in the average. It is not going to change any way, shape, or form. It will not change. What I've come to understand is prayer is not beseeching or asking God. It is making a declaration, and it is staying in that declaration. And here's the other thing. It never makes an excuse. Because when we make an excuse about something, we're saying the law doesn't work. And the law hears that we're saying the law doesn't work. And then when we ask the law for something, what does it give us? Something that doesn't work. It's like the law of attraction. If you don't believe in the law of attraction, guess what? The law of attraction is not going to give you what you want. So a lot of people come to me over the years that I've been doing this, and they say, well, Lee, this is how it's going for me, and this is how it's going for me, and I don't do what you do, and I don't do that, and that type of thing. I said, great. Do you have what you want in relationships? Do you have what you want in health? Do you have what you want in money? So why would I listen to you? I'm being very straightforward here. If someone doesn't have what they're talking about, why would you listen to their way? You want to find something that works, and you want to listen and try that. Because otherwise, guess what? We're stuck. Because if we don't try something new, we're stuck. Do you hear that? That's why new has got to be there. The old way of parenting back in the day where we took out a thatch or a belt or something and hit kids, it doesn't work anymore. We've got to find a new way to rationalize, to be with these young people. I know when I was growing up, wait till your dad gets home, he's going to give you a whooping. That don't work anymore. Kids today are coming at a higher and higher vibration. They're already tuned into a different way of seeing and hearing things than you and I will ever imagine. They get it so much quicker than we get it. So the greatest lesson we can do is to listen to these kids as they challenge us, because they're coming in wired at a higher vibration, because they're going to go to planets and places that you and I have yet to dream. God forbid as we as adults stop their imaginations and say, you must conform to be a part of this society. I'm going to tell you that conforming is stopping the God expression that you are. I don't know that I've ever said anything as deep as that. Because conforming means you sacrifice being you. When you sacrifice being you, you sacrifice loving. Did you hear that? When you can't be you, you're not in love. Now imagine this week, you sit down for 5 minutes and you say, I think I'm going to really start to love myself more. And so I'm going to pick this area of my life, and I'm going to make that the target of the next 90 days, one season. And in that 90 days, I'm going to keep expanding my vision. I'm going to go beyond my boundaries. I'm going to ask other people, how can I expand this vision? How can I expand this vision? And I'm going to bring in everything that I can that's telling me how I can expand this vision. And then I'm going to sit still every day, 5-10 minutes. And then I'm going to imagine what it feels like to be that. I'm going to talk only about that. I'm going to act as if it was already mine. I'm going to feel every day. I'm going to take time to feel, what does it feel like to be in that perfect body? What does it feel like to be in that perfect relationship? What does it feel like to be financially free to do what I want, when I want, and how I want? What does it feel like? And I'm not going to allow anyone, listen to this, I'm not going to allow anyone to burst my bubble. Why? Because it's my bubble. When I go into meditation, I visualize an energetic bubble surrounding me. And there are two words that I anchor that bubble in. Anytime, I got this through a hypnotist, and anytime I hear the words or say the words love, joy, I go into my state. And in that bubble, you can't penetrate it. Why? I'm not going to let you. Do you hear that? You can't affect me. I'm not going to let you. See, you have that power. No one can affect you. No one can have an influence on your life that you don't allow. The question is, are you going to be the guardian of your dreams? Are you going to be the person that built this life of desire? We've been told, don't have these desires. They're sinful. Do you know why desires are sinful? Because you can't settle in the status quo, and the status quo wants you to remain where it is, so they call it sinful. Isn't that fascinating? See, the idea is to think beyond what you've been taught. Think beyond to what your dream is. Think beyond to what your desire is. Think beyond to the highest expression of love that you could be. That is the single greatest desire that we can create. How can I be more love today? Say that with me. How can I be more love today? You can do that for the very first time by being just who you are. Because you are perfect. You are what God chose itself to be as you. I'm looking at you, and you make me smile, because you're really weird. You all look so different. You all look so serious as I'm talking. I'm saying, God, I got them all real serious. See, that's the thing about it. When you do this work, put a big smile on your face. Laugh. Be joyful. Be a child. And have desires. Be an adult who acts like a child with desires. But most of all, be you. Let's pray. I want to thank you for joining us today. I am so grateful that you took your time to watch or listen to this message. If you found this message beneficial, I would ask you to go to our website. Once there, click on the Contribute button and experience the joy of conscious and purposeful giving. It is through your gifts that we are able to bring this message to the world. I would also ask you to please share this message with anyone you feel might benefit. Again, I want to thank you for joining me and the Agape community as together we bring joy to life.